if a black family gets powers, like they're telling everybody.
They got a list of and they got a
they're
list.
telling mom. Do not tell your mom you got powers. She's telling everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fade to Black podcast. We have a fun trajectory we've gone with the movie we watched. Okay, we watched Spider-Verse. Okay, Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry. We've watched Hollywood Shuffle, directed by Robert Townsend, and now we have a superhero movie directed by Robert Townsend, Meteor Man. The Meteor Man, written, directed, starring Robert Townsend. There's a lot to talk about this movie. I feel like cannot find it for the love of God. You cannot find it. It's not even like. It's even a discussion. It's a discussion about the movie itself that you cannot. You can buy it, I think, in places, but it's just so hard to stream or watch anywhere, which is weird because MGM has the rights, and MGM uploaded clips of it as of a year ago. So it's like, what are you trying to do here? Anyway, so friends, you're at a bar, you're talking about Meteor Man. What are you gonna say about Meteor Man?
You want to see the first black superhero movie? Truly first black superhero. A man who is fighting for his community and empowering his community to fight back as well. You know, I say that is the Meteor Man. Also, I think he could, like, even though he can't fight, you know, I think he got a lot of powers. Like, I think if he learned to fight, I think he could beat up Superman. He just got too many powers. What can he not do other than fight? Yeah, the Meteor Man.
Sonny, Meteor Man.
Yeah, I'd be like, homie, you gotta watch this, like, substitute teacher turn into a superhero. You know, like, he is just trying to support his community, avoid trouble, and then he gets thrust into a position of power. It is thrust upon him, truly. A meteor attacks him and says, "You
chases
have,
him down the alley."
Yes, and is like, "You have my powers now." And his community is like, "Since you do, you will protect us. You will get rid of all of the gangs, the drug lords, and then you'll go international and you'll do this all across the world." And he kind of has to. That's this movie.
Yes.
So yeah,
with every black actor you've ever seen.
Yes. Oh my God, the cast is insane.
Actor and non-actor. Like,
actor,
why is
non-actor,
Luther Vandross in this movie? Don't say a damn word, but Luther here.
Actors that are greatly acclaimed, maybe one or two that may or not be as liked anymore because they might be a criminal.
I'm glad he didn't say a damn word this whole movie.
I was like, if I have to look at his fucking face, I'm so glad he don't say a damn word other than ooh.
That was like a interesting. It might be one of those, like, because I know he's immediately said yes, but it might be one of those things where, like, but I'm not gonna read any lines. You know what I mean? And I know the actors have done that. Like, I'll show up, but I will not read any lines.
You know,
I mean he also had a pretty big plot point. I
thought he was gonna be the villain.
Like,
you know, I thought he was going to be the villain, and then it was not. He was not the villain, so I'm glad he didn't.
He was
talk.
a magical Negro.
He was a magical Negro. Also, it's like we hear Chris Tucker at one point, but we don't ever see Chris Tucker. I'm like, there's a lot of people in this movie, seen and heard.
Chris Tucker come
Chris
up?
Tucker, he was like at the mall, in the mall scene when they're like, there's like some show or something going on. The person on the mic is Chris Tucker. That is Chris Tucker, but you never see him. Like, we don't ever see who is talking. But like, that is so clearly Chris Tucker.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I do. But speaking of that casting, because like I did watch a little interview with him in, I think it was something like Mark TV something. But he said that everybody he called, he just had a dream cast and they all said yes. And so it was truly just Sinbad shows up, Naughty by Nature shows up, Bismarcky out here sifting some flour.
Cypress Hill.
That's it just keeps going. And It's just good to
Luther
have homies in your
Vandross.
back pocket.
Big Daddy Kane. That
Big
was also
Daddy
like, what
Kane.
the hell?
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
Don. So okay. So just going more into the plot. That brings me to the more of the plot. So we have this guy named Jefferson Reed, which is a good.
Superhero name.
I feel like that's a good like superhero alter ego name. He's a substitute teacher. To be honest, he does have like a Peter Parker kind of vibe to him, where you feel like if Peter Parker wasn't bit by a spider as a teenager, this is kind of where his vibe would have been as an adult. And there's a gang. He lives in D.C. where there's a really bad gang problem. He lives in D.C. where everybody loves Philly sports for some reason. Everybody's wearing Sixers and Phillies
no one
gear.
likes the Wizards. I'm like,
They don't though. I'm like, the Wizards have historically been bad.
But
also this is a good Chocolate City representation as well, because I'm like, I keep hearing about DC being Chocolate City, but in my lifetime it's been gentrified, so
for sure
I'm like, this is what it used to look like, I assume.
yeah.
But yeah, so there's like a gang problem, and
The Golden Lords.
By these guys called the Golden Lords, the most cartoonish, weirdly flyest looking gang members ever, where they indoctrinate children, like really young children, to the point where we see, like babies, where you see like little like 8-9-year-olds like brutally robbing and mugging like a grown woman, like choking her and stuff. It's like goodness.
With they blonde hair. Everybody got blonde hair. And he our main character is hit by a meteor. The meteor, like you said, Imani, chases him down an alleyway, like makes a turn. And then for this is technically a kids movie, and we'll get into that later, but he gets it's a kind of graphic it's nasty
scene of him getting just impaled by the meteor and it like absorbing into him. Yeah, I guess, Wolverine style. He gets powers. The gang members try to fight him and his family, and he like fends them off because he's super strong. And immediately his family is like, "You gotta be a superhero." And of course, it's kind of funny because it's like if a black family gets powers, like they're telling everybody.
They got a list of and they got a list.
They're telling mom, do not tell your mom you got powers. She's telling everyone.
He said, keep it a secret, and then the next town meeting, they said, your mother told us all who you are.
Yeah, no, literally.
This is what we need you to do.
Then the community's like, bro, do it, please. They're immediately like asking for it. And he does a lot of things that we'll get more in depth into, like, he's mostly nonviolent. He mostly just kind of like stops crimes in like a funny way. He mostly wants to talk, and he'll like do things like make a giant garden in the middle of the hood and things like that.
I don't know about this food,
and then he things happen. Eventually we get to a point where he starts to lose his powers a little bit, and he still like decides to be a hero even without them. And eventually the community like is inspired by him to like step up and against gang violence for the community. And the movie ends not with like Meteor Man on doing some superior flyaway scene, but with the Bloods and Crips teaming up.
Yes, with Naughty by Nature and Cypress Hill.
Yes, and like them dapping up Meteor Man, be like, we got you anytime, and like it's almost like feeling like in the superhero movies where the police are like, no, you are a hero, Spider-Man or Batman, but it was these gang members. So it's interesting watching this after Hollywood Shuffle, knowing how Hollywood Shuffle ends, especially with that part where he flies around as Superman.
Yes.
And like, it's like he's like, I want to make the superhero movie. I want to have a black Superman. And so that he made it. And it's cool that, at this point, he's even said it, like, he had a lot of trust. The studio had a lot of trust in him this time. And I think that's why he got so many yeses from people like, let's just drop the cast down. Let me just name this wild ass cast. It's insane. Who we got? Obviously, we got Robert Townsend. We got Marla Gibbs from The Jeffersons. We got Eddie Griffin. Who plays his dad? Robert. How do you pronounce his last name?
Oh, Oh, I can't remember his name. But he was
Giuliani?
Rafiki. He was Rafiki in The Lion King.
Oh yeah, he is Rafiki. That's right.
Yeah.
Robert Guillaume.
Where?
I'll just find the pronunciation and edit it over it. James Earl Jones, also in The Lion King.
Yes, with his crazy
That
Roy
one
voice.
really got me.
Fagan, Don Cheadle, Bill Cosby, Big Daddy Kane, Frank Gorshin, who is the Riddler in the Adam West Batman. That's that old Italian guy. That's why it's like a fun little cameo because he loved that show.
Damn, I
Oh.
see.
Sinbad, Luther Vandross. It's like
Sinbad.
crazy
Jennifer
cast.
Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Bismarcky.
Biz Marquee. It's Cypress Hill, like you said. Naughty by
Beverly
Nature.
Johnson. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
It's
stacked. Every black person you can think of is probably in this movie.
John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon, yes.
That's right. He does show up.
Yes.
And he's in Hollywood Shuffle also.
Will's
hold on one
aunt.
second.
Will's aunt in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who is married to the white man, is also in this movie. I can't think of her name, but in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you got that aunt that's married to that white man.
Right.
She
Is
in this
that
movie.
Charlene?
So there's a lot of interesting stuff that goes into like the other stuff with the production of this movie. Like he had more studio had more faith in him. He wanted to make explicitly a kids movie, which is funny that this is a kids movie that is so much like it's got crack and drugs in it.
Yeah,
And it's kind of violent.
it is.
But or not violent, just a little more graphic.
And too, he
But-
like produced this in like his studio. He has his Tinsel Townsend studio. Because I remember when I was looking up Hollywood Shuffle, he had said that there was some big earthquake in the 90s that hit LA that destroyed his studio, and so he was able to
dang.
film just parts of the Meteor Man in it. But it was the last movie to be filmed at his Tinsel Townsend studio in I think like Culver City. So I was like,
Oh,
oh
wow.
damn.
I also know ILM, George Lucas's ILM company, also collaborated on they did all the good effects for things. That's why the effects are like they're pretty decent in this movie. Like when he's flying around, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of I don't know if you guys felt this way, but I'm watching it and you're watching like what feels like a generic superhero movie, and then you sit and you go, wait, the generic superhero movie wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it like all those things, even the part where he's fighting without his powers, but he's still like fighting just because that's the good thing to do, like Spider-Man 2.
Get his ass
Like-
kicked.
He said this is hero activity.
Mhm.
And he
Yeah,
does
it's just-
specifically mention like it's like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, except he's better than all of them in his words.
I mean, the Meteor Man can do anything. He can touch books and absorb their knowledge temporarily. He can see through walls and clothes. He has laser vision. He can fly. Like it is
He can
quite
talk to
crazy.
animals.
He's super strong. Yeah, he can talk to animals. It's like, what
Yeah,
can he not do?
Yeah, and it's like, we were talking earlier, and obviously this is said to the point where he even acknowledges it, like just like he's very much ahead of his time,
Yeah.
and like, he was talks about describing this movie and how it would be made, and I can't even, I imagine even describing it with the technology they had in 1993 and being like, how are you going to make this movie? But clearly very much a visionary. Like he does his little like movie Bibles where he'll have like everything detailed out to like what everybody's wearing or what it says on everybody's shirts and things like that. Like,
Damn.
I don't know. I just really like that this like, this like very, and he sees it as a piece of art. Like he doesn't, it's just, sorry. I just, with the current landscape of like superhero things and movies, it's like clearly not that, right?
Yeah.
You could argue that there's a lot of great artists that are working on these things, especially like the animated stuff, but it is not treated as such by the people that own the property, right?
Yeah.
And something I do think is cool is that like Marvel eventually did make like 6 issues of Meteor Man after
Yeah.
this movie. I was
They
like,
did.
and the
Crazy.
Golden Lords pop up in a Miles Morales comic book as well.
They do.
eventually
That's
become a villain.
crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, and I don't know. I do think I wish it was easier to watch, but
Yeah.
I do think it's like just knowing that after Hollywood Shuffle, he was like, you know, I mean, he made movies in between that. Then
He
didn't
did
like
the
the
five
Heartbreakers,
heartbeats.
the Heartbeats. Yeah,
Yes.
like I don't know. I love someone who just makes different types of movies just
Yes.
because they want to tell that story. You want to tell a variety a show story about black acting in cinema. You want to tell like this fake Temptations
music
esque
group.
yeah, and then to the point where people think you are like a real group.
Yeah.
You
know, he makes Baps. He makes like a fucking Disney princess movie. Like, yeah, I love that he does not put himself in any kind of box. He's like, I just want to film make and make whatever I can. It's very, you know, Steven Spielberg does the same thing. Steven Spielberg makes so many different types of movies. And I think, like, you know, in today's time, I do think a lot of directors get kind of pigeonholed into like, you make this kind of movie, so this is the kind of movie you have to make. But he's like, nah, I make comedies, I make action movies, I make musicals. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just want to make a feel good movie. And even like, yeah, the Meteor Man was still very much feel good, and it had a message. Like, I didn't realize this was a kid's movie, but I'm like, yeah, like a kid could watch it. And it does like have a message for kids and adults. I mean, just like them depending upon Meteor Man to solve all of their problems. Like, okay, now that you're here, we know we've been getting beat up by the Golden Lords. Now you can do something about it. But at the same time, it's like you saw somebody get beat up on the street by the Golden Lords and you didn't do anything about it. And him, like,
exactly,
you know, pointing that out to his community, like, you know, y'all have to fight back. I mean, he kind of argues that it, like, you know, maybe you should call the cops, but I don't think you should necessarily call the cops. But as a community, it's like, you know, there are way more of you than there are of them. Also, they're taking your kids. Like, I was like, what is going on in this community if like your little 5-year-old is getting initiated into a gang? Like,
are there how it go though?
Are there no after? But I'm saying, are there no after school programs? Like, that's what I'm like. Okay, so we need to start building in activities. Like, we need to save the children. I'm like, why are there? They have so many kids. I feel like the kids outnumber the adults in this gang, and it's fucking crazy. And it's like not even teens. It's children. I'm like, actual little children. Why is this little kid mugging this woman in the alley? Like, that's fucking crazy. I mean, also, women get up and fight these kids. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it is like I mean, there is some initiations that would like happen very young, especially at that time too. I think it's also like the amount of kids like cartoonishly young. Some of it is like to make an impression on the viewer. I feel like the younger viewers. So like you really see like them get their comeuppance by like their parents get pulled down and they get tied up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they get embarrassed and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does seem intentional.
And there are levels to it. There's baby lords, there's junior lords, and then you could become a golden
And they all
lord.
got their own little outfits. I'm like, they do look fly. I'm like, these are. I'm not saying join the gang, but I'm like looking at the outfits. I'm like, these do. I am like, these are some nice clothes. I like the blonde hair. I like the fits y'all wearing. Y'all look cool as hell.
But also to your point, Imani, I'm like, Robert Townsend did say that like his main question for this whole thing was like, communities complain so much about gang issues, but like, what are they doing to solve those issues themselves? And I think for him, like, he wanted Meteor Man to be, because he's introducing a whole new superhero. Like, to me, I was wondering, like, why we're 40 minutes into the movie and we're still, like, just discovering powers. I was like, what else is going on? But for him, he's like, well, the point here is that, like, you don't necessarily have to have superpowers to be a hero. So, like, somebody who was, like, so easily swayed by just like gang presence, like at the beginning of the movie he's like, we have to cross the street, the gangs are dealing drugs, and his daddy walked up and was like, I ain't crossing no street for nobody. Matter of fact, I'm gonna knock the drugs out their hand and smash it. And I'm like, damn, that's
that was pretty
shit.
That was pretty awesome.
So for him to like then come down the steps when the whole community is like, damn, I guess we should just give up, make deals with the gangs. Which also to me, I was like, you know, I guess that's how gangs started in the first place. Y'all said that you were supposed to be protected in your neighborhoods because the cops weren't doing it. But then, you know, gangs start turning on the neighborhoods. Now we're mobs and we got to use all the people. But the fact that the community did eventually start to turn around and be like, wow,
Yeah.
no, one man inspired us to
Denzel
realize that we all
Jones.
have to.
That was his little
His
Billie
Billie
Holiday. I
Holiday.
was like, why the Billie Holiday? I'm like,
I love how Robert Townsend like creates all these like little characters where they'll have like little funny beats about them, but they're like James Earl Jones' character keeps like wearing like toupees,
oh my gosh.
and it's like
yes.
funny, but you're never like it's never like mean spirited. It's
No.
almost like a cute thing. Like it you never feel Robert like even when Robert Townsend's like going for it. I mean, he does make fun of the like the when Sinbad's playing like the black guy who's only dated white women.
Oh my gosh. He got the kufi and the dashiki on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
That
thanks,
was
my
just not
brother.
fun. He was just pissed off at somebody at that point. Somebody pissed him off because it just like you could have taken that whole thing out of it, and I'm not saying it's bad. It's funny, but
I do wonder if that's where like he got all them yeses and was like, damn, now what do I do with everybody? I guess Sinbad
Start making up roles for people.
yeah, join the
yeah.
liberation group.
But I'll say that like Robert Townsend, his performance in this and in the other movie, like he's very likable.
He is.
He's very likable. He's very like he has his like Bugs Bunny-esque to him, but not too
He's
much.
very
He's
endearing.
very endearing and like
yeah.
very like I don't know. Even that part where like the gangs approach him, his dad, and he's like, "Keep your hands off him." It's just like there's like a he doesn't say it like a tough guy. He says it in like a like there's like a softness or I miss in movies a little bit. And you know,
Yeah.
just thinking about and I hate to bring this up, not hate to, but sorry, but you know, the new Superman just came out and thinking about like these types of superheroes that are like super powerful but also like soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like because they're so powerful or like because they just have a big heart and their big heart is like their power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just thinking about like these making him sort of this like likable Peter Parker thing. He's clearly a comic book fan.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
everything like you could kind of pull to something else. Like obviously Meteor Man is very similar as I guess aesthetically and power wise to Superman, but like even things like the meteor coming to space and almost like chasing him like it chose him, like that's a very Green Lantern thing.
Yes.
Or like, you know, the guy a little down on his luck before he gets powers, that's very much a Peter Parker thing, you know what I mean? And like or like the gang violence filling up the crime city, that's a very much a Batman thing, and the gangs look all cartoonish and got you know what I mean? Like and it's silly. It's a very silly movie. It's not. It's before a time where we were gonna make there was an idea to make superheroes like super dark. Obviously, Tim Burton's Batman movies could come out, but those are still like, come on. They dance the Prince.
I definitely do feel like this movie is like all of the above. Like I feel like it is a love letter to comic books. I feel like it is you know a special movie that he is trying to give to like the black communities, especially like black children, like something that would make them excited. Like he was excited when he would watch the old Batman series. I can feel that he is trying to give kids that, like, because the movie is so whimsical, and it is so fun, and even though the community is being terrorized by a gang, which is like quite dark and quite violent, it's like, well, the kids who do live in these like gang riddled neighborhoods, like this is still a movie that they can watch and connect with. And also, if you're a little kid who lives in a gang riddled neighborhood, maybe you do look at the gang like, wow, they are cool. So then to like watch this movie where it's like the gang still looks cool as hell, I feel like not outrightly like villainizing them in that way. Like if I am a kid who is like, I think gangs are cool, and then I go into this movie still thinking gangs are cool, it's kind of gonna like walk me through of like, okay, but they're hurting the community XYZ, like, and this is a problem, and I need to try to be more like Meteor Man than the Golden Lords, even though that they got fly ass clothes and a tiger and cool cars and stuff like that. It's like Meteor Man is growing meteor infused crops that I would be suspicious of eating, but would but it feeds the whole community. Meteor Man, yeah, it's just like chill and there is that scene with his friend Eddie Griffin. I can't think of his friend's name, but it's played by Eddie Griffith. Michael, who like steals his Meteor Man suit, and is like using it to pick up women. And we see, I thought that was a really cool scene too, like being in the mall and you see Eddie in the suit trying to pick up this woman, but the Golden Lords are after him. And the international conglomerate, like I thought that was also, he's like, it's not just the gangs, like there's big money involved in this drug trade, you know. Yeah, I just think like it's a movie that like for a kid that to watch and realize like Meteor Man is a good guy. This is who I should follow. This is why gangs are bad. Like they're, you know, beating up old ladies. They're doing drive-bys, shooting people down. I'm like, opening fire on that crowd was fucking crazy, Don Cheadle.
It sure was.
I was like, hey, yo, maybe the Golden Lords aren't that cool. And yeah, I was just like, you know, I think Robert Townsend, he makes movies with so much heart and they feel so good at the end. And I'm just like, yeah, shout out to Black filmmakers. I'm like, I feel like he is such a underrated Black filmmaker. Like the more we watch, more Robert Townsend we watch, I'm just like, man, give this man all his flowers.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
I feel like I've been sleeping on Robert Townsend.
For real.
And just to like echo this point, it feels like this version of a superhero is really empowering to all of the people around them. Like,
yes.
Like when we was talking about Spider-Man, it's like anybody could be Spider-Man. Like anybody could put the mask on. And Robert Townsend is also like, yes, you too can have power to make a difference in your neighborhood. You see things, say something. You, a small child, like even the babies that were getting initiated in the gang, like stopped him from being caught the first time and like just holding their position so that way by the end they can also still like have a say and like fight for what's right. And so it's just like, yeah, even these 5-year-olds who are still like contemplating what they need to do with their life still have some power. And like if you are that small child who's like, do I need to stay in my gang, do I need to join the gang, it's like, nah bro, you have all the might and strength and courage that you need to do what you can, and it don't have to be this way.
Yeah, I think it's a good point that he makes, like visually, like the gang look, I mean they look fly, but they also, I mean they also look stupid. And
I think they look
like,
fly.
They look fly, but some of them have like straight hair.
The slinky is the thing that I think is weird. I never figured that out.
Like they do purposely make them look silly, and that's for he's got like he's got the slinky. It's supposed to be comic. One, it's comic booky. It's supposed to be comic booky, but it's also like y'all gangs are silly, and it's like
6'7".
But like they're doing all it's like you said, like they're hurting old ladies. Like nothing about what the gangs do seems awesome.
No,
and they're also making a good point that like, you know, it's like, you know, there's this idea that like the Black community like embraces gang violence or something, and it's just like, no, everybody hates it. Everybody in the community hates it.
This community is scared.
They're scared for their fucking lives.
Yeah, but you're scared to call the fucking police because it's like, well.
Oh, that's the other thing. We only see the police once, and it's when he was stopping the gangs from fighting each other, and then the cops from fighting the gangs, and then that's it.
Well, it's like it's kind of like this is also the problem. It's like I want to talk to both sides. He doesn't go like, "Hey guys, stop." He goes like, "I want to talk to both sides," and they both just keep shooting. And like, it's like, yeah, you're just adding gunfire to this.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, he's also mostly non-violent.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to like where the rest of the comics go, because it also is like he didn't ask to be Meteor Man. I feel like he could have walked away at any point, and it's still like kind of would want to, as much pressure as they're like putting on him to like change his entire life and be a vigilante. So I'm just curious about like the longevity of Meteor Man. Like what does, especially because like the power exists within this meteor too. Yeah, so I'm just like, as soon as anybody who touches this rock, like this whole final boss battle is like everybody's got a little bit of meteor power and they're just like using it to get what they need. Like Bill Cosby out here flinging the guns out of everybody's hand.
Talking to dogs.
Yes, healing dogs. Yeah, I'm just curious about the longevity of Meteor Man and like who he is like as a a hero outside of this one specific scenario, his origin story.
I did think that like they were going to figure that out. Like I thought, because it's like in the beginning, Michael, is that Eddie Griffith's character? Is kind of like, I thought he was supposed to be like the smart guy, right? Because he's like carrying around that like device, and he's like, this detects meteors or whatever. So I was like, oh, is he gonna be like the smart one to like, I don't know, figure out the power, figure out how to extract the power from the meteor so that it's permanent. But we never got there. Like you said, we were like 45 minutes into this movie and they were still discovering powers. So it's like, it kind of feels like that part of it was never really, it wasn't a concern for Robert. Like the movie he's trying to make is like, you know, this movie that is, you know, saying XYZ. It's not necessarily about like the mechanics of how this power is. And so knowing that he did want to like make sequels to this movie, I am kind of curious, like how would that have been done? Like what, but you know, you just make shit up. So,
but as it stands, you could also say, and I'm not saying this is intentional, but you could also say things like, you know, like this is symbolic of like a guy in a community gets a hold of like some sort of power, whether that be like superpowers, money, political power, and the community's like, hey yo, please do something. And it's like, I can do a lot, but it's like I also need us all to work together on this,
because this power is temporary. If I'm political office, it's temporary. If I get money, it's temporary. If
it's in the wrong hands, I can share this power, but it's got to be in the right hands.
Yeah. Yes. Because he really did build out the whole world. He's like, there is levels to the evil in this community. It is really not just one thing one man can do.
I heard some other interviews lately. Khalil Joseph has said something similar, where, you know, there's like an eagerness or a want for like black filmmakers, or at least at the time, but I'd say now, or any minority, to like talk about your like real experience, and not even yours, but just like reality, to talk about reality, and just like niggas want to make fantasy.
Yes.
And like, he wants to make his own superhero movie, and I think I also applaud him for being like, he even said like, instead of being like, I want to be a part of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, whatever, making a, not to say that it's bad, but like, you know, instead of making a Batman Black or something, he's like, I'm just gonna make my own. And despite him having such, you know, relations to Superman, he is his own character. Like, one, he's got a mustache. I'm not seeing a lot of superheroes with a mustache, I'm telling you right now. Tony Stark, is he a hero? Two, he kind of can do anything. It just seems like it's almost like a thesis to like his projects, to make like black fantasy, black feel good stories. They still have some that darkness in them, like that part where the old lady is getting dragged away into the ambulance. That hurts. That sucks. And like James Earl Jones crying, like, honestly, it's like, I like that. It's almost like an Uncle Ben moment. Like, I'm not using my powers, and this is what's happening. And he's like, this will never happen again. And you're like, put on the fucking costume. You know, it is satisfying. And I don't know, I do applaud him for the things he did that feel like redundant now, but are actually you just started them before. And superhero stories were doing that before in comics, obviously, but it's the fact that he was doing it on screen first. And again, like, there was, you know, the Christopher Reeve movies have other elements where like he loses powers or he has to fight a clone version of him or something, but those ones suck, so it's fine.
Damn, I love Christopher Reeve's Superman.
No, I'm talking about the first two are amazing. I'm talking about the sequels. The first and second, especially the Richard Donner cut. The Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 is the superior cut. Superman 1, oh my god, I could rewatch that movie any day of the week. But
I was gonna say, it's also just so, I just think it's so like badass to make a superhero movie. I mean, it's like in today's time, it's 2025. Like, to make a superhero movie is kind of when we have already, it's like the superhero genre has now become its own genre now. Like, when you look up the Avengers, it doesn't say action, it says superhero. And so to make a superhero movie, like, before the superhero hype, when people, it is 1993, like, people are not asking for superhero movies. Like, they're not, that is not the majority of the market. Like, again, you have your Batmans that's being made, the Tim Burton Batmans, and, you know, we got Superman in the 70s and 80s, but I mean, people aren't like clamoring, and studios are not clamoring, despite the success of those movies, are not like opening up DC, opening up Marvel, like, okay, now we got to start making all these superhero movies. Like, that's still not what's happening. They said Batman, Superman, shrug, and we'll come back to make Blade, you know, at the end of the 90s. But so I'm like, for him to really just be like, fuck that, I don't care what y'all want to do, like, I want to make my very own thing with my own origin story. I love that we see like we have his mom like making the costume, and we're like going through all the different costumes before he finally finds the right one. Like, you know, just truly, I'm just like, shout out to Robert, because I'm just like, that is so cool. Like, really just doing whatever the fuck you want. It don't matter what's going on around you. Like, you're just coming off of the 5 heartbeats to make a superhero movie is crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, there's something to be said about that. And that's why I'm just like, I just feel like Robert Townsend gets so overlooked. I have never seen, this was my first time watching this movie. Like, I had never heard of it.
Same.
And I'm just so impressed by Robert Townsend. Like, I'm so impressed by it. Him as a businessman, him as a filmmaker, as a screenwriter, like, as an actor. You know, all of these movies that we're watching is like written, directed by, starring, produced. I'm just like, it's 1993. Like, who else was doing that? I mean, we have Spike Lee out here, of course.
He can't fly though.
Spike cannot fly. But yeah, I'm just like,
he is fly.
Huh? He is fly.
I said, but he is fly.
Yes, but he cannot fly. But yeah, I'm just like, you know, that is so dope. I hate that his studio got ruined, because I'm just like, what did you have up your sleeve, sir? Like, I can only imagine. But yeah, so ahead of his time, but like right there, like, he's so close, but he's ahead of his time.
And you know, he's not done yet, because I was also reading that he has like what's it called, the Townsend Foundation, which is a nonprofit that invests in unsigned filmmakers. So I'm like, he really is still like out here trying to craft the next generation. I'm like, he refuses to let his voice be silenced.
Yeah. I saw the interview where he was like, you know how like when you're a kid and you're like, I want to do this. He's like, I really feel like I'm living that. Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor, a director, a writer, a producer, a teacher. And I'm doing all of the above still. And so he's like, I'm living my dream. Like, I'm just like, shout out.
Also, just the fact that, like, you know, with the, you know, it's not that grand a scale, but, you know, Meteor Man has a lot of crazy powers. And, like, for 1993, like, there's big studios that spent the whole 90s trying to figure out how they were going to do Spider-Man. And they didn't until 2002. Obviously, it was a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, he figured it out himself to do his own thing. And I know, like, again, like, I know Spider-Man's probably more complicated just in terms of certain things. But you know what I mean? That's awesome.
And it was funny. I was like, this movie was
was
funny. Like, him flying close to the ground, and they're like, you got to get over that fear of heights. I'm like,
yes.
That's so fun.
You know,
I love that that's a part of it, just to like help support whatever the mechanics were that went around this.
Keep him low to the ground. It's cheaper.
Yes, and also I'm like, it's such a genuine movie as well, because I guess I had never watched this before. I had heard of it, but I was thinking that it was going to be like a parody type film. Like, I know the Wayans have like another
Blank Man.
Yes. And so I think maybe my brain was just associating this with that. And so like to have really stuck with this and like sunk our teeth into it, I was just like, oh wow, no, this was the Black superhero that we needed and deserved.
Yes.
Damn, where's the meteor to come chase me? Maybe I'm not the chosen one.
I also assumed for a while that it was a parody film. Like it just for some reason it had that vibe.
Yeah.
Also the
Meteor
like
Man?
just
But
there is
also, who's
like
Iron Man.
there's so much that goes into this movie. The fact that like ILM worked on it, like the fact that Ruthie Carter did the costumes.
Shout out to
Ruth E.
Ruth.
Carter always coming through.
Always
He's like,
coming
what?
through.
Where have you? Why? He's like, damn.
She's everywhere.
She's literally everywhere. She did Sinners.
It also, I do think it's funny that like everybody wants to be Meteor Man until you got Meteor Man problems, because sure, Michael in the mall just like, come on, Janice, I heard you calling for me on TV, and John Witherspoon said the same thing. He said, I'm an ex-convict and now I am a superhero, so please don't look at me for anything else. But if Robert Townsend wasn't in that damn mall like helping him survive and fly out over the crowd, he'd been gone.
Yeah.
If they came for John Witherspoon, he'd been gone.
Yeah.
Even Michael coming in and being like, oh no, Robert, did you hear that Meteor Man is downtown helping somebody? I was like, somebody else getting shot tonight. Like that. I do find it interesting that it's just like, yeah, everybody thinks being a superhero is really, really cool, but like being a hero is a lot more work and responsibility. And maybe that's the thing we're all afraid of, but also that's what's going to get us through.
Also very like Black to make it like he's not saving the entire city, he's saving like the community,
his neighbor,
he's not saving the world,
his block. Yeah
And it's also like, just think of other references too, like I just forgot, I was like, what other comic book references, not saying that this is one, but reminded me of it, like read The Dark Knight Returns, like the gangs switch up and join, like the gangs of the youth, they follow Batman because I think he's more awesome.
The Sons of Batman.
And obviously that's a much more conservative story. But I don't know, just interesting. All these little parallels.
Yeah.
And again, I love that it ends with like, it did feel good when like and it felt like really sincere when like the gangs were like, anything for you, Meteor Man. Like,
yeah.
It felt real. It felt like,
yeah,
damn, he really saved them. He really saved the community because he ended a war.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what he did in his other time, because it was like he was a substitute teacher. So I was like, oh, I was like, what's going on? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You subbing long term? Like, what happened? I don't know. I was just curious more about like, who are you, sir? You the substitute telling kids not to fight and to run the other way, and now you getting called to the office because little boy got his arm broke, his leg broke. Got a black guy, got a cut on his face, and his mama mad because you told him to run away instead of fight his bullies. Which is kind of like, right, the lesson that he got in the end was like, nah, like you can't run away from your bullies. You got to face them. And so it's just like in the beginning, that's what he, just like this mindset of like, no, we can't stand up to our bullies. We have to run. And to actually learn, like, no, the answer is actually you have to fight back. You can't, whatever that looks like, but you can't just run away thinking that it's going to go away. You got to stand up for something. So,
but also the idea that he has to teach, like there's always a lesson to be learned. So like gangs, let's have a talk, like let's build a garden together. Let's solve our actual problems, because even though I have powers, it's just gonna get me in the room, really. But like the real work happens in discourse.
And just fighting you guys isn't fixing anything.
No.
But also another Spider-Man reference, because I was just watching Nick play Spider-Man 2. And so I'm like, in that one, Peter Parker is also a physics teacher.
He is.
And Miles Morales notices that Sandman is outside. So he's like, hey, yo, we gotta actually go do some hero shit right now.
Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts? I'd like to say good movie. Would recommend. Robert Townsend ahead of his time. Would it be annoying if they remade it?
Honestly, I don't remake. I want a sequel.
Sequel, starring Robert Townsend.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, give us the continuation,
and maybe he gets a sidekick.
Yeah.
30 years later, another
his
meteor
information
comes.
onto.
Yes.
like a new meteor's coming to town, and
Yeah.
it's probably reactivating Robert Townsend's powers because they probably
Ooh.
faded away at some point.
Yes,
And so
but
now
as it
he's like, "Ooh."
approaches, they're coming back. Yes.
But also, he's not the only one that gets hit. So, like, as we saw, multiple people got these powers, and he's got to figure out how to handle it. But at least there's one. There's probably at least one other Meteor Man out there who's
But,
like, I will team up with Robert.
But he's got like James Gunn, Superman action. People are flying through buildings and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go, Robert. Look, we just pitched an idea for you right there.
Well, the
There's
first
the
thing that's
Meteor
got to
Man
happen is
sequel.
they got to make that shit available to watch somewhere.
They sure do.
Yes,
'Cause
you
it
know,
is
Hollywood
$30
Shuffle
to own.
was Criterion Collection. So I'm like, Criterion, y'all need to get on just getting all of his films, is what I'm hearing. Y'all have the Melvin Van Peebles box set. Give me the Robert Townsend box set. I'm here for it.
Give me it yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get on it. You're late.
All right, well, that's all I
Next
have to say
time-
about this film by
Yeah,
Robert
next time
Townsend.
you talking about your favorite black directors, add Robert Townsend to it.
Yes.
You should.
Truly. You know.
And matter of fact, I do want to see Meteor Man and Superman squabble up. I don't want to see him squabble up with Omni-Man. I don't.
No, Omni-Man would rip him apart. That would be so
Yeah, and I just
violent.
don't
That
want
would
to
be
see
so
a white man with a
sad.
mustache like that do Meteor Man like that, you know. No, we
I
don't.
would
We
hate
can't.
to
We
see
don't
that.
need that. We don't make any fan art of that. Anybody, please.
No, but shout out to teaming up with Miles. Like let's get a Meteor Man Miles team up. Maybe
Hell yeah.
he can be
Yeah.
in the next Spider-Man movie, Spider-Verse movie.
These shit.
Exactly, because you know them Golden Lords, they're in Brooklyn in the Miles Morales comic, and so you know they was talking about expanding to New York. So I guess they made it at
So-
some point. Now we
And
gotta go.
Philadelphia.
Damn.
Also,
Philly
fun
don't got
fact.
no
Sorry,
superhero.
even though this was filmed, the setting is DC. This was actually filmed in Baltimore. So I was also just like, shout out to Maryland,
Oh, okay, Maryland.
to my home state.
So yes,
Okay.
let's see him return. I would like Meteor Man to return.
I would
Me
like
too.
it too, and not in like a dark, realistic way. Make it goofy
No,
still.
it's just to be
Don't.
funny. I
Same
would
stuff.
But
like to laugh.
don't shoot it. Don't do that shit where y'all shoot it and it's like everything looks gray. You know what I mean?
Bring
every-
whimsy back to film, okay?
Just
Bring
like get
whimsy
some
back.
crazy, get expressionistic with the lighting for the love
Yes.
of God.
Have fun,
Because
y'all. Damn.
That
Stop.
shootout, wild, but
every-
also funny.
The shot of
Yes.
Devil Wears Prada where it just got that ugly even lighting and it's just like, bro, the streaming lighting has got me fucked up, bro.
For real.
Mm.
Yeah, and now they're trying to buy Warner Brothers.
Anyway, don't do that to Meteor Man 2 if it ever
don't.
happens.
Don't. Keep the whimsy. I believe in Robert. I believe Robert would still keep the whimsy. I feel like that's just who he is as a filmmaker.
He just got to have the right backing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, partner with Spike. Bring back George Lucas.
Bring back, what's George?
All right, guys.
What you
Well,
doing?
stay safe out there. It is January 3rd, 2026. If you as of today,
David
we
always pulls back the curtain. He's like,
Yes.
"Hey, so you know when we recorded this. This is going to be released in March."
oh, I'm just saying,
In case
as
shit
I am
pops
saying
off.
this, we did just kidnap a president. So I this is just a little time capsule. So when this is released, who the hell knows? We didn't know what was going to happen next. Whatever happens next, I don't know. I'm
You said
sorry.
we kidnapped a president? What are you talking about?
Yes, we kidnapped the president last night.
What are you?
Not we, the America.
I'm like, I woke up a little before this. We started recording, and
No,
I
they
did
did this
not
while
look
we
at
were
my
asleep.
phone.
They did it while we were asleep. They bombed Venezuela and kidnapped the president and his
Oh,
wife.
you are dead serious.
What?
I'm dead ass. I'm not joking. I'm
What?
I
not
thought
trying to
this
be
was
like,
just
I want us
a,
doc.
Oh, here's some, oh,
No,
shit.
I'm not
What?
joking. Them niggas kidnapped the Venezuelan president last night. He's going to be tried in New York.
What?
What the fuck? Okay. All right. Well, Meteor Man, please come save us.
That's what I'm saying. We need Meteor Man ASAP.
Well, Meteor Man would say that you need yourself. He said, "Why
He
you
said,
asking
"Why
for
did you
me?
vote this
What you
man
gonna do?"
in office?" So
I said, I told these niggas not to do it, Meteor Man.
He said, "So what you gonna do about it now?"
You better
Some of
hit
them dudes that
streets.
left the Golden Lords, they got the life together, but then they decided to vote
They
for Trump.
MAGA. Yeah, I was like, some of them Golden Lords definitely with MAGA. Like in today's time, they definitely
For sure.
MAGA.
10,000%.
So what should they do, Imani?
Follow us on Instagram at the Fade to Black podcast. And don't forget to like and review and let us know like what you think, and really like and review our podcast because it's useful. But let us know and tell a homie about the Meteor Man and how they need to watch it.
Buy it physically.
Do
buy it. That's what we did, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
We all did it.
Hit up your
individually.
local library.
I hope it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Better be.
While it's free.
Exactly.
They're kidnapping presidents, y'all. It's only a matter of time.
That's crazy.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Fade to Black signing off. Bye.